Hello, beautiful friends. And so it is, as Patricia Cota-Robles says, as I am lifted up, all life is lifted up with me. And why is that? Well, it is because we exist. We exist within a web of life. This web is very big. It's not only planetary, it is a web that actually permeates all cosmos. And so within this web, all life is. And we have all the multidimensional realities. And so it's very big. But when one being gets it, and that being rises to that greatness, what they do, they become the avatar and they lift the web of life with them to the next level. And now imagine if a collective gets it. When the collective gets it, well, then we lift everything up again, even more so. And so, do we matter, even though we're so small? Yes, we do. Because what if you are the one who's going to raise everyone up when you raise yourself up? So when we rise within our own being, of course, and we find the greatness within. And that greatness is when we let go of the self and we become so selfless that we can embody the divine being fully and completely. That's amazing. And so in this world, we have that mission to become the divine being. The divine being. It's really, really simple, actually. And what is the divine being? What is the divine being? Well, as you can imagine, the divine being is the one who becomes completely, like Yogananda says, transparent. And they become the hollow bone. And then all this amazing cosmic energy can fill that being up. And that's requires surrender, right? And when we surrender to this amazing, fill me up, I'm ready. And so we say that to this amazing cosmic creation. We say that to Divine Mother, fill us all up with your energy, with your rainbow light, and she will do it. But first, we need to be empty, empty of the self. We first become nothing so that we can become everything. That is the path of our expansion. And so I always share all the different things that I have done that led to amazing, experiences like this. And so first of all, let us acknowledge that we are in a very small solar system that seems very big and that we are within a galaxy. So part of our consciousness is actually galactic consciousness. And again, it has nothing to do with working with some beings. It is more about consciousness, and consciousness is love light. And for example, when you have, I don't know how many of you actually worked with Self-Realization Fellowship, but when I met Yogananda, I didn't want to work with any of the books that he wrote, no information. I wanted to get all the information from him personally. And that didn't require much. It just meant showing up every day, doing the meditation, sitting down with him, making yourself available to the teachings, because all these amazing avatars, they keep teaching all of us. They come to humanity all the time and they say, who's ready? And so they find us. And so I was meditating with him every single day. And so Yogananda was giving the information that I've shared, where we first purify our being because we want to be empty. And then we can start filling ourselves up first with angelic light. That's something we're going to do today. Such a beautiful transmission. But then we expand even more. We have to build ourselves up back to our original design. We let go of all the limitation. And so we go up and we go to our soul body. And as you know, when I speak about the soul, it is from what I learned from Yogananda. The soul is a very large being that actually has its own consciousness, its own experiences, its own life. And that being is like a very large body of what I call a sea. So not the ocean, but a sea. So it's individualized and it exists on the soul plane. And we are within the being. And then from that soul, we need to explore our own soul. We will learn so much if we just spend some time within the soul, saying, hello, I figured it out. I know who you are, and I know that I'm part of you. So then from the soul, eventually we explode into more of that and we become our spirit body. And the spirit, again, Yogananda compared it to the ocean. So we lose the boundaries, we lose the individualization, we actually become completely formless, one with the spirit. And then, you know, the game really gets better and it gets bigger and we have more fun with all of this. And again, it's up to all of us to actually realize this within us. But again, that's the tools we share. And so when I was completed with my training with Yogananda, which took about 2 years, then I went to the Self-Realization Fellowship, which is an organization that he established. And then I went through the process that they teach, where you receive your little lessons and you practice different meditation techniques. And then eventually it leads to an initiation. The initiation itself, it took place in Los Angeles at the beautiful temple. And, you know, they have the monastics who perform this initiation. In a way, they teach you how to breathe through the spine, how to do the Kriya. And then they come to you and they touch your forehead. So for those of you who've experienced it, I hope it was the same for you. And when they touched my forehead, I nearly fainted. I was actually seeing the galaxy within my own third eye. And it was like so clear. I was looking into the galaxy. And I thought, why am I seeing a galaxy? You know, what is so important about a galaxy? And little did I know how important the galactic consciousness is, because the galactic consciousness is really, you know, for the Mayans, for example, and all the ancient civilization, the galactic core was in a way God consciousness. And so they would find Godhead within the galactic core. And so it's so fascinating to see how we are in a galaxy and we are moving around the galactic core. And you can think of the galactic core as a very powerful sun. People have many different names for it. For example, the Mayans, they call it Hunapku. I believe that meant one God. And so we are expanding from the very limited, narrow, body-oriented person who, you know, is here living a simple life or not so simple. And we are expanding to also embody the solar consciousness, planetary consciousness, but also our galactic consciousness, universal consciousness, and then finally explode into all that is, which is cosmic consciousness. And so this is more important than most people can think or imagine, because actually there is light. Everything is about light. Creation is about light. Realization is about light. It's all about light, and light being the same as love, but light actually brings consciousness, and light is consciousness. And so the more enlightened we are, the better, you know, we can serve this creation, of course, and then lift up all life with us. And so think about it. There is a galactic core that is constantly actually influencing our consciousness. And Divine Mother explained this to me. So at the core of this galaxy, we have some very ancient beings who actually, you would say, almost reside within the core of the galaxy. And for example, I got to see Hathor as being one of the great grandmothers of creation within the galactic core. And she would always emerge from the galactic core, and then she would travel to the worlds here. Very mystical experiences that we can have. But really, it's not so much about the beings, even though, of course, you know, it's super interesting. But it was Hathor who taught me about this ascension in a way that it was going to be everything to do with the galactic core. And so within the galactic core, you know, we are as a planet, right? As a solar system, let's talk about the solar system. We are actually moving around the galactic core, and it takes us about 26,000 years, which, right, we know, for example, let me show you some picture. It takes us about 26,000 years. I found this great picture from the teachings of Sri Yukteswar. I keep mixing them up. And so look at it. You see the galactic core, and then we are moving around the galactic core, and it takes about 26,000 years. And we at one point are closer, and at other point we are farther. And when we are farther from the galactic core, the light cannot reach us. And so we go through darkness. And that darkness is actually called Kali Yuga. And so it is all about light. When beings are at the lowest exposure of light, most of them descend into unconsciousness. But when you expose us to more light, we start awakening. So it's like our physical body here, you know, go to sleep because it's night, wake up because it's morning. It is all in a way physiological. And so you can think of it the same way, that our solar system is coming out of the galactic night. We have been through the Kali Yuga, and now it's the dawn of a new age. And the golden age, you know, the Satya Yuga, happens when we have the most exposure to light from the galactic core. Isn't that unbelievable? And this whole journey takes us about 26,000 years. Whoa, and we all have been part of this. That's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, we definitely have more planets within the solar system, and definitely there are things that are, but it's good to think about this big picture. And again, I wanted to show some beautiful pictures. This is a transmission of these great gurus. You know, they didn't study this, they didn't have the internet to find answers, they didn't have really the books, but they had their consciousness. And so when we meditate, we get this knowledge. This knowledge is a cosmic knowledge that is simply made available to us when we meditate. And so, you know, this meditation that we do here with Orin, for example, it leads to amazing expansion, in my opinion. And so, you know, everything is like expansion, expansion, expansion. And we want to be going step by step. To me, step by step is really important, because I was thinking this morning, you know, some people just go crazy when they meet the multidimensional reality. And so we don't want to be crazy. We want to be fully anchored in this amazing experience and say, okay, so it's bigger than I thought. And then it's bigger than I thought. And then it's bigger than I thought. And that's great. Eventually it gets so big. Wow, amazing, amazing. And so here we are on the arm of Orion within the galaxy. And so we are making, you know, this is the cycles within cycles. And so this cycle is always an opportunity. When these cycles align, we have such an amazing opportunity to actually arise to higher consciousness. So I found this beautiful picture. If you remember Aeolia, and if you listen to Aeolia's music, he joined us on 11/11 when we were in Sedona. Some of you came in person. And so Aeolia is not only an amazing musician, who I think is one of the most famous musicians composing angelic music, but also he's an amazing painter. And so he painted this beautiful being. And every time we work with the angel of the Devas, I see something very similar to this. And so we're going to be working once again with the angel of the Devas. Aeolia is really incredible. And so Aeolia, if anyone can put it in the chat, that would be great. And so this is the beautiful angel we'll be working with today. This is from the album that I sent the email about. This is something different. Some of you did it last night with me. And it is really, sorry, let me just look outside. We have so much snow here. All right, so much snow. So there's some plowing going on. And so we're going to be working with this beautiful album. And this beautiful album is all about working with the Devas. Now, the fun thing is, and I spoke about this yesterday, so I'll speak about it just a little bit, that within all of creation that comes from the Divine Mother, within the Devi are the Devas. And you could say that Deva is a form of nature. It is consciousness of nature. And so Divine Mother is the ultimate Devi. She is the ultimate consciousness of all that has been created as nature. And nature is not only what we see here as nature. Nature is much more multidimensional. And so cosmic nature, within cosmos, you have the universal nature. The universes are manifestations of Divine Mother. The galaxies are manifestations of Divine Mother. And so every single Deva, right, belongs into the body of the Mother. That's why our body is also body Deva. That's why the galaxy has a Deva. So everything has consciousness. It's incredible. And you can speak to it all, and it can all speak back to you, you know. And I know sometimes people in this world think that we are naive if we speak to nature, but what else should we be speaking to if not to Divine Mother? Because Divine Mother is in all things. And she explained to me actually a while ago how humanity went actually insane when humanity disconnected from the rhythms within nature, from mimicking nature. And she said the recipe is really simple. If you want to be back in consciousness, full consciousness, just simply mimic nature. And for us to be able to mimic nature, we also understand that nature is bigger than what we have here on planet Earth, and that nature actually is multidimensional, cosmic, galactic, universal, and that too influences us. And so we want to be available to this evolutionary force. Everything in cosmos is evolving. There is a constant evolution, constant growth. And the design of things that I found in all dimension is the tree of life. And along the tree of life, we have evolution happening. The tree of life is not only within us as individual small beings, the microcosm, but this incredible design is also within our planet. So the tree of life is within the earth. You can see it. And what happened when we fell from grace, one way to say it, it is also that the tree of life within the earth actually became misaligned. And so we lost connection with this big world that we are actually part of. And so it started to seem like we are alone, and such a great conclusion, actually. The most illogical conclusion that humans ever came up with is that we are alone in cosmos. I mean, that's an amazing conclusion. It's the same like saying that our DNA is junk DNA because we don't know what it does. The same thing, you know, these conclusions are really puzzling. And so when the tree of life within the earth got actually misaligned, the earth, as you know, then was tilted, the axis of the earth. And that also disconnected us from this amazing, amazing system. And that's why we are here. That's why there are great beings working through planet Earth, because we want that alignment back. And first of all, we as humans need to find the alignment within us. And this alignment is so, so important. It is the greatest mystery. We can only really discover the mystery within us. And that is that we within us have a pathway. And the pathway is a tree of life. And when we go along the tree of life, we actually can unlock so many dimensions within us till we finally come to the highest dimension. And that's where we need the Godhead. And I wanted to mention, you know, it was recently that I was sharing when I was able to get to this like high dimension within the tree of life. The message was, remember why you are here. Remember that you are here. And who remembers? To uphold the creation principles on planet Earth. And to me, this was like a huge, huge message in a few words. Uphold the creation principles on planet Earth. And I've been thinking about this ever since this happened in January, how we are here to represent Divine Mother and her love, how we are here to represent whatever you want to call it, Divine Fathers, Divine Source, and to be the wisdom, to be the power, to be the confidence, to be unshakable, and to emanate love and light. And to be so anchored in that love light that you become the divine soul, the divine being, that you are the avatar. Because nothing is impossible. Everything's possible because this design is within all of us, you know. No one, how to say it, we all can achieve this amazing greatness because it already is within us. We are just like uncovering the ancient design within. And so upholding the principles. So when there is a conflict, we stay in love. When there is a conflict, we stay in absolute, you know, unshakable, just love that emanates through all things. And we are it. So, you know, as Patricia said, I am all love. I am all love. I found this beautiful, beautiful piece of art on Etsy. And I bought it actually. And I just thought, this is so pretty. It's so beautiful. You know, we are also not only to be all love, but we are also to be dreaming beautiful dreams. And that life force that is within us, that is often seen as the rainbow serpent of creation, she is within us. And she wants to move upwards, just like she always wants to move, you know, up the tree of life. That's the same thing, up the tree of life within us. She wants to go all the way up till we reach cosmic consciousness. So you see, the design is amazing. This design is also within the galaxy. Our galaxy has the same tree of life within. That's incredible. And also our universe has the same design within itself. And as I traveled up through these worlds, I also discovered that cosmos itself has the same design. So you would say there is macrocosm, as you see here on top, and we are at the bottom of the microcosm. And so the Mayans, they saw the same thing. I found this picture. That's incredible. They also had a picture of this. the microcosm and the macrocosm. Same thing as the Kabbalah, the tree of life. They found also the tree of life within all things. So you see, our ancient people, they could actually see this, of course, through the same perception that we have within us, which is now uncovered through meditation, mainly through the breath work that we do, through all the beautiful transmissions we get with Orin. So this all is a mystery that actually is unveiled to us from within. I firmly believe it's the best way to uncover the mystery and to see that we are part of something so beautiful, so big, and yet we do matter too. And so this is it. So number one, we uphold the creation principles. And again, it's all about love. It's all about light, but it's also about power and wisdom. And then we go back to this image here, and that is that we have the power of creation within us. And as you know, we are creating all the time, in every single moment, through our own thoughts, through our own feeling, and it simply is a gift. So how do we use this gift to be the most wonderful, conscious co-creators in this world? You can call it co-creators, but also you can call it dreamers. How do we dream beautiful dreams? Copy of this tree of life, or this one? This one I found online, so I just looked for tree of life. I looked for a cosmic tree of life. You can take a picture. This image I bought from an artist, very talented artist. And this is, again, I found it online. And so how do we dream beautiful dreams? So we should ask ourselves 2 questions every day, at least. Number 1, what dreams am I dreaming? And am I using my amazing gifts to be dreaming beautiful dreams? And sometimes our mind is not very organized. So we try to organize the mind through meditation, through silence, through breath work. You know, we are organizing that distorted mind. But the thing is that what also helps, for example, is journaling. When you journal, you are organizing your mind. It's really good to do that. And again, you know, whatever way you find, I share the ways that I found that worked for me. And again, let's have a look at the sweet Yogananda, these amazing master beings who found how to organize their own minds, how to organize their own feeling nature, and how to be always connected to the great, great, great Godhead, to be connected to Divine Mother and to be connected to Divine Father. And Yogananda, of course, is not the only one. And that's the beauty of it. When we have these avatars on planet Earth, when they come and visit, that's incredible. And you can see that they are never working for the self. They never do anything for themselves. It's not about the self at all. They are always in selfless service. And so, for example, Yogananda, I believe, never charged for anything. He only charged for his books, which makes sense, you know, but everything was always selfless service. And to me, this is one of the big, beautiful signs, you know, when he was giving lectures, so that everybody can benefit, so that everybody can be given this amazing power that is within, to awaken the power within. And so what was Yogananda's goal, for example, was self-realization for everyone, so that we all have direct access to divinity, which is within us, so that we all have direct access to Mother, Father, God. Because, you know, I always say, if we just have to believe things, then that's not powerful. And Yogananda was, again, always teaching, he said, don't believe, meditate and make your own experience of divinity. And then that is going to be that which truly transforms us. We are transformed. And the transformation is something that, to me, is not something that I read, but it's something that happens within, where suddenly these levels of consciousness really unlock within us. And again, I found the shortcut, and, you know, it's, Yogananda was here when things were not so pretty. It was, you know, we had World War I, World War II. He was very, very upset about it, actually, you know, because he knew that we need to come together as brothers and sisters, of course, and to understand that consciousness is love and consciousness is oneness, definitely. And so the shortcut I found is working with Orin. That's why I so passionately share it. And that is simply that you go through harmonization of your being. And again, I thought about it this morning. I thought, what does Oren do for us? Well, you become transformed. And how do you know? Well, you know, when you are transformed, it's always step by step by step. And then there's a breakthrough, then again, step by step by step. And then there's a breakthrough, and then step by step by step. But it's a journey. And so this really path of transformation, what can you expect? And then we'll go into meditation. Well, number one, you will see the biggest changes in your personality. And you might become a completely different person, and always so much better than ever before. And even if you already have divine personality, the divine personality just goes into more and more and more of its own divinity. And so you will harmonize the self. You will let go of stuff. You will relax more, as Divine Mother always says, relax, let go, trust and surrender. You will trust your own divine self. You will have divine confidence. The personality gets so beautified and so harmonized. Your relationships will change. They will become harmonious. And what happens is that every area of our life becomes transformed and becomes more beautiful. And that's exactly what Divine Mother wants for us. Divine Mother, I know it sounds like, you know, some people say she puts us through tests of suffering and pain, but she told me that's not true. So I believe her more than anyone else. And so she said her only test is always, how fearless can you be? Fearless. And then she rewards our fearlessness. And I'll tell you why. Because, for example, Uncle Jesus, he had to show fearlessness. And it was only in fearlessness that he was able to fully embody what we call Christ consciousness. Because when you get to experience what Christ consciousness is, it is the absence of all fear. All fear goes away. And that's pretty incredible. It's unbelievable. It's a state of consciousness that feels like, okay, you are definitely not human anymore. When all fear, all worry, all concern, all doubt, everything, all forms of fear, you know, doubt is also a form of fear, lack of trust, all of it, it dissolves. It dissolves. It dissolves, and then there is Christ consciousness. And to me, that's the only test that Divine Mother would say, you know, are you able to fearlessly surrender to divinity that is within you and all around you? And that's all. And so, and actually it's very easy. I want to say it seems difficult, but actually it's very easy, because we put the divine within first, and then all else we say no to. In a way. So when, you know, all the teachers spoke about temptation, to me, the number one temptation is to put the self first and not our own divinity. And again, this is not about looking outside of us at all. That's one of the most important things, is to look within, always within, and to only give your power to your own divine self. To me, the divine self is a portal to all that we are. And so that's why we contact. We contact the divine self every day, and we contact all the beautiful aspects of this beautiful divine self. And look at it, this is suspicious to me. The 12 aspects of divinity. And then you have the 12 constellations that are constantly influencing the different ages that are, what, 2000 something years. So when we go through these 12 constellations, it takes us 26,000 years to go through them as a solar system. And so we are constantly influenced by different energies. And that's why we are now stepping into the constellation of Aquarius. So we will be influenced by the Aquarian consciousness. Very, very interesting. 12. The design of 12, which is the design of the world we live in. And this big mystery is unfolding here. And so, my dear friends, let us go and work with the beautiful, beautiful angels of the Devas. Once again, I like to show this beautiful picture. To me, this is just so gorgeous, all the beautiful light that emanates. And you will find that the angelic beings, you know, it's all light beings. And very often they actually have crystals in the forehead that they emanate light with. And these are, of course, etheric crystals. So beautiful things that happen in this multidimensional reality. And so this is gorgeous from this beautiful album. Again, I always share the tools from Oren and Deben. If you can, please work with them. Definitely incredible transformation is possible when we just work with Oren. And so here it is. And this journey is called the purification with the Devas. And from the album is track number 9, and it's 24 minutes. This is so beautiful. I know that all of you enjoy doing this, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And I just want to say, working with Orin and working with the Devas, you know, if you are new to Orin, please know this is not creative visualization. We have a lot of people who do creative visualization and guided meditations. This is not a guided meditation either. When your third eye opens and you listen to Orin, you actually are able to see everything that Orin is simply describing and transmitting to you. And you see it actually a few seconds before Orin even says it. So in a way, it is actually a description of what is happening to us. So for example, I'm at Mount Shasta in our beautiful sanctuary here, and this is a portal of the green Tara energy. This is an amazing portal. And so the third eye opens easier in these portals. And then you actually see it all before it even happens. It's amazing. And so, of course, it's for all of us. This is the same as we did yesterday, and we will repeat this again in the evening today. And I'll tell you why. Our life was meant to be a very amazing manifestation of divine energy. We were supposed to receive all the beautiful light, like you see here. And then we were supposed to create a beautiful imagination in our own divine mind, in our own divine heart, to create a dream. So we can call it creation. But what happened is that when humans started on planet Earth to actually use this life force in a negative way, so we got burdened, every single one of us. We are also in a world that is burdened. So it's, you know, personal and collective. And so we are liberating our own being through all the tools we use so that we can actually receive divine light directly, not only as individuals, but also as collective. And then what happens to you, and this is what truly happens, you get a gift of instantaneous manifestation. Then whatever you think about, which is your divine mind, and you connect it to your divine heart, it happens immediately because there is nothing limiting you anymore. So then it all happens. And that can only happen to those who are responsible with life force. That's why it happens then immediately, because no longer is that the danger of creating something really awful immediately. And so this is amazing. That's what we are doing. You know, it does happen. Then you just constantly in the miracle energy. The miracle energy is the energy of no burden. It is the true liberation. And because we talked about, we're going to do just one more thing, if that's okay with you. I wanted to show you the same thing I showed yesterday. And that is on YouTube, I recommend following the Suspicious Observers channel. And the reason for that is that Ben, who is a scientist and a lawyer, he's very scientific. He actually beautifully, sorry, I need to go to the right page. I don't know if this is the one. Yeah, here is Ben. So Ben is really the founding father of, for example, the app that many of us have, the Space Weather. And that is so amazing because we need to be, of course, aware of what's happening in our solar system, not through a spiritual only insights, but also physically, because we are absolutely affected by space, weather, solar events, but also galactic events. And so this is brilliant. This is the science of what I spoke about, how the galactic core is light that actually affects us so much, and why there will be changes on planet Earth that we will experience. These changes will happen within this decade. And so this is just a 3-minute video of
Folks, we are going to dive a little bit deeper right here into the story we had in the morning news 2 days ago. So the story was this: the X7 cloud that is near the galactic center is starting to distend as it comes closer to hitting the galactic core. And of course, the main part of the story is that they are expecting, quote, fireworks from the galactic center when this occurs. This, of course, refers to the potential for galactic center super flaring. Now, we have seen flaring even in the short time that we have been monitoring it astronomically. But it has been very low-level flaring. There has been nothing major. This is along the same kind of theory as Dr. Paul Laviolette's galactic superwave theory. This is the kind of thing where we don't have any warning of when it happens. The actual particle burst doesn't actually ever get all the way out to the sun, but the light does. Now, of course, this actually happened about 26,000 years ago. That's how long it takes the light to get from the center of the universe, or center of the galaxy, all the way out to us. And so even though this happened a very long time ago, the light energy is already coming. Any super flaring that was due to the interaction between the X7 cloud and the galactic core has already taken place, and that light would be on its way to us. They estimate that that light is going to get here at some point in the next decade. The only real question is, how bad is it going to be? How big is it going to be? If you are at all familiar with Dr. Laviolette's superwave theory, it could be anything from something that is just scientifically detectable and interesting to something that is absolutely cataclysmic. That amount of light energy could have phenomenal impacts on the planets. It could have a phenomenal impact on the sun itself, including triggering very extreme states of activity. And it's just very hard to tell. Essentially, we always kind of knew this was a possibility. We knew that there were several gas clouds that were close to the center of Sagittarius A, which is what they call the center of our galaxy.
And so it is. This is exciting. That is scientifically now detected what's happening. The supergalactic wave is coming to us, and it will affect our sun. I personally am not in fear at all, because when you know your divine self, you know exactly that there is no reason to search for, like safe zones or to be in a survival mode, and not to even try to survive certain events. That's my opinion, because if you know your divine self has your back. And so I also have experienced this, where you completely surrender and you just go with the flow, and the flow takes you to the next level of existence. And so sometimes that means leaving, departing, and that's okay, because the great things that are upon us are so wonderful. It is truly heaven on earth. And when we go through these big events, we go to higher dimensions, of course. And so again, total bliss. So thank you so much for being here. We'll repeat the same meditation later tonight. And tomorrow we will have the call at 11 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Pacific, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's going to be twice a day. I'll put it on the website as well. So thank you so much.